Special thanks to Greg Patton, our first channel member. Iceland, land of fire and ice, where glaciers glide over volcanic landscapes. But beneath this rugged beauty lies a world of cryptids that'll send shivers down your spine. Forget what you think you know about this Nordic island. Beyond its geysers and hot springs lurks a realm of creatures that defy explanation. Brace yourself. These are flesh and blood encounters that have left even the most skeptical Icelanders shaken to their core. Prepare to meet the Álfar, ethereal beings so powerful they can bring modern machinery to its knees. Steel your nerves for Gryla, a child-eating ogress that makes your worst nightmares seem like pleasant daydreams. Think the Yule Lads are just quirky Christmas characters? Think again. These trolls have a hunger for more than just holiday treats. And if you dare to venture near Iceland's mist-shrouded lakes, beware the Lagarfljótsormurinn, a serpent so terrifying it makes the Loch Ness Monster look like a garden snake. In Iceland, ancient myths don't just linger, they live and breathe, stalking the shadows between steaming geysers and towering glaciers. So buckle up, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and prepare for a wild ride into Iceland's cryptid underworld. Here, every rock could be a troll in disguise. Every ripple in a lake might be a monster stirring. And that odd neighbor? They just might be one of the hidden folk. Welcome to the real Iceland, where the supernatural isn't just possible, it's practically guaranteed. Are you brave enough to explore what lies beyond the midnight sun? Our first Icelandic cryptid is the Álfar, elf, mystical beings that play a significant role in Icelandic folklore and culture. Unlike the mythical creatures found in other parts of the world, such as the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland or the Michigan Dogman, Álfar are not just creatures of legend. They are deeply respected in Iceland, where their presence is still considered when engaging in modern activities like construction. But these aren't your typical Santa's helpers or Tolkien's ethereal elves. The Icelandic Álfar are forces of nature, ancient and unpredictable, as wild as the volcanic landscape they inhabit. Beings of otherworldly beauty, ageless and powerful, they live parallel lives to humans but remain hidden, only revealing themselves when they choose. They are believed to dwell in the very bones of Iceland, lava fields, rugged cliffs, and the massive boulders that punctuate the landscape like sleeping giants. Icelanders take these beings very seriously. In a country where the ground trembles with the rumblings of volcanoes and geysers shoot water into the sky, the Álfar are seen as the natural world's protectors. Disturbing their homes is not just bad manners, it's dangerous. Mysterious malfunctions, sudden accidents, and illnesses are attributed to the wrath of the Álfar when their dwellings are threatened. Consider the 2013 road construction project that came to a standstill. The cause? Not budget issues or regulatory red tape, but a massive boulder, believed to be an elf home, right in the middle of the proposed route. Construction stopped dead in its tracks until an elf communicator, or elf spotter, was brought in to negotiate with the Álfar. Only after rituals and discussions with the unseen did the project proceed, carefully relocating the boulder with the elves' permission. This wasn't an isolated incident. Across Iceland, roads veer around seemingly random rocks, and buildings have unusual corners to avoid disturbing elf habitats. Some locals even build elfholes, small elf houses, to honor the elves and provide them with a home, believing this act brings harmony between the human and hidden worlds. Though Álfar are believed to be human-sized, their dwellings are thought to exist in a different plane of reality, where the inside of these small houses can expand to fit their magical realm. It's not uncommon for environmental impact reports to consider potential elf dwellings, and major developments often consult elf spotters before breaking ground. This reflects a worldview where the seen and unseen coexist. The Álfar are more than just folklore or tourist curiosities. They embody a deep respect for the unpredictable, untamed power of nature that runs through the Icelandic psyche. While some may view belief in elves as quaint, for many Icelanders, it's a reflection of their enduring connection to the land, a reminder that not all forces in the world are visible, but they are certainly felt. In 2020, an Álfar was recoded near a waterfall in Iceland by Vigdís Hauser Haraldardóttir. Our second Icelandic cryptid is Gryla, one of the most notorious figures in Icelandic folklore. This monstrous ogress, deeply rooted in the country's traditions, is said to live in the mountains, emerging during the Christmas season to hunt for naughty children. Unlike the benign Álfar, Gryla is a figure of pure terror, known for boiling children in her cauldron and feasting upon them. Gryla isn't just a creature of legend, she's a living presence in the Icelandic psyche, especially during the winter months. In a land where darkness reigns for most of the day and howling winds sweep across barren landscapes, the fear of Gryla feels all too real. Her legend dates back to medieval Iceland, where she was originally portrayed as a terrifying troll who could strike fear into the hearts of children all year long. Described as a hideous and fearsome figure, Gryla is often depicted with grotesque features that seem to defy natural law. Multiple heads, eyes in the back of her skull, and up to 40 tails, each capable of holding numerous children, make her a nightmarish entity. She carries a large sack to capture her unfortunate victims, a dark parallel to Santa's bag of gifts. Gryla's husband, Lepaludi, is said to be much less active in her grisly activities, typically sitting idle in their mountain home. Over time, Gryla's legend became intertwined with Iceland's Christmas folklore. She's now seen as the mother of the 13 mischievous Yule Lads, who each cause trouble during the 13 days leading up to Christmas. Gryla is also associated with the Jólakötturinn, the Yule Cat, another fearsome figure that preys on people who haven't received new clothes before Christmas, signifying laziness or failure to contribute. The earliest written references to Gryla date back to the 13th century, mentioned in Icelandic sagas and poems. Initially, she represented a more general threat, embodying the harshness of winter and the danger lurking in the Icelandic wilderness. It was only later, around the 17th century, that she became intertwined with the Christmas tradition. Despite her terrifying nature, Gryla's presence in Icelandic culture remains strong. Festivals, statues, and media portray her as a vital part of Iceland's cultural heritage, blending fear and moral lessons with a touch of dark humor. But make no mistake, in the depths of an Icelandic winter, when the wind howls and shadows seem to move of their own accord, the fear of Gryla is very real indeed. In 2021, the YouTube channel Paranormal World recorded a cloud formation resembling Gryla. In a country where the Álfar influenced construction projects and volcanic eruptions are a fact of life, this sighting adds another layer to Gryla's enduring legend. Was it merely pareidolia, or did Gryla, through some ancient and terrible magic, reveal herself to the modern world? Our third Icelandic cryptid group is the Yule Lads, mischievous offspring of the ogress Gryla. These beings emerged during Iceland's dark December nights, blending Christmas tradition with ancient folklore. The Yule Lads' history stretches back centuries, evolving from malevolent trolls to more playful figures. Originally numerous and sinister, each region had its own versions, known for wreaking havoc on farms and terrorizing families. They were used as cautionary tales to frighten children into good behavior. Over time, their appearance and behavior transformed. Once dressed in dark, troll-like garb, they now often sport traditional Icelandic farmers' outfits or Santa-like clothing. Despite this softening, their nature as tricksters remains intact. Today, 13 Yule Lads are recognized, each with a distinct personality and mode of mischief. Stekkjarstaur, also known as sheepcoat clod, comes out on December 12th, harasses sheep despite his peg legs. Giljagour, also known as gully gawk, comes out on December 13th, skims foam off milk pails in barns. Stufur, also known as Stubby, comes out on December 14th, steals pans to scrape leftovers. Þveruslikkir, also known as spoon licker, comes out on December 15th, steals and licks wooden spoons. Potaskafil, also known as pot scraper, comes out on December 16th, scrapes leftovers from pots. Askaslaker, also known as bowl licker, comes out on December 17th, hides under beds to steal bowls. Hirdaskeller, also known as door slammer, comes out on December 18th, slams doors, disturbing sleep. Skyrgammer, also known as Skyer Gobbler, comes out on December 19th, eats skyer, Icelandic yogurt. Bjugnakrakir, also known as sausage swiper, comes out on December 20th, steals hanging sausages. Gluggagager, also known as window peeper, comes out on December 21st, looks through windows for things to steal. Gatatafur, also known as doorway sniffer, comes out on December 22nd, sniffs out loaf abroad, leaf bread. Ketkrokur, also known as meat hook, comes out on December 23rd, uses a hook to steal meat. Kertasni Kir, also known as candle beggar, comes out on December 24th, once stole candles, now drawn to Christmas lights. While modern times have softened their behavior, they now leave gifts and shoes for well-behaved children and potatoes for the naughty. Their mischievous nature persists. YouTuber Artur claims to have recorded footage of a troll-like creature, sparking speculation about a Yule Lad sighting. This video shows a humanoid figure moving through a wooded area. Our fourth Icelandic cryptid is Jólakötturinn the Yule Cat. a terrifying creature that prowls Iceland's snowy landscape during the Christmas season. Unlike domestic cats, the Yule Cat is a monstrous entity, described as larger than a house with glowing eyes and fur as black as the winter nights. Jólakötturinn, also known as the Yule Cat, comes out during the Christmas season, hunts and devours those who haven't received new clothes. While the Yule Cat's existence has long been known to Icelanders, its notoriety surged in 1932 when Icelandic poet Jóhannes úr Kötlum captured its essence in the poem Jólin Koma, Christmas is Coming. This vivid depiction brought the creature into sharper focus, describing its glowing eyes and its penchant for roaming the countryside in search of ill-dressed children. The poem's popularity led to widespread recognition of the Yule Cat, cementing its place in Icelandic Christmas celebrations and decorations. The Yule Cat's origins, however, stretch back much further. Its presence is deeply rooted in Icelandic culture, intrinsically linked to an ancient tradition. Those who don't receive new clothes before Christmas risk becoming the Yule Cat's prey. This belief likely originated as a means to encourage farm workers to complete their wool processing before the holidays, rewarding them with new garments and thus protection from the cat's deadly visit. The Yule Cat's legend is closely associated with Gryla, the ogress, and her Yule Lad offspring, forming a formidable group of holiday terrors. Early mentions of the Yule Cat date back to the 17th century, but Kötlum's poem in the 20th century reignited interest in this ancient being. While confirmed sightings of the Yule Cat remain elusive, its influence on Icelandic culture is undeniable. The creature continues to inspire holiday traditions and serves as a reminder of the importance of hard work and community support during the harsh Icelandic winters. In downtown Reykjavik, a giant Jólakötturinn statue is erected each year during the Christmas season. This imposing structure serves as a tangible representation of the cryptid, reminding locals and visitors alike of the Yule Cat's enduring presence. The statue's glowing eyes and massive form offer a chilling glimpse of what the actual Yule Cat might look like, bringing this centuries-old legend into the modern era and keeping the mystery of Jólakötturinn alive in Iceland's capital. Our fifth Icelandic cryptid is the Fjörulali, a mysterious creature that haunts the rugged coastlines of Iceland's West Fjords. It has been a part of local lore since at least the 18th century, with sightings continuing to perplex and fascinate residents to this day. Fjörulali, also known as shore laddie or beach walker, comes out along the coastlines of Iceland's West Fjords, roams the shores, interacts with sheep, and quickly retreats to the sea when approached. The Fjörulali defies easy classification, its appearance a bizarre blend of familiar animals and otherworldly features. Most commonly, it's described as resembling a ram or sheep that's fallen into the sea, though some accounts liken it to a fat, woolly seal. Its most distinctive features include a coat encrusted with seaweed, barnacles, or mussels, giving it a grotesque, almost alien appearance. Perhaps its most unnerving characteristic is the eerie jingling sound it produces as it moves along the shore. This unique audio signature often announces the Fjörulali's presence before it comes into view, adding to its mystique and the trepidation it instills in locals. One of the most unsettling aspects of the Fjörulali is its alleged interaction with sheep during breeding season. Farmers across the West Fjords have long reported a disturbing phenomenon. When ewes graze in areas where the Fjörulali has been spotted, they often give birth to deformed lambs bearing an uncanny resemblance to the creature. This has led to speculation that the Fjörulali might be capable of inseminating sheep, resulting in these aberrant offspring. The correlation between Fjörulali sightings and lamb deformities adds a chilling dimension to this cryptid's mythos, blurring the lines between natural and supernatural. A particularly compelling encounter with the Fjörulali occurred near Bjarnarhöfn. 6 men came across a creature they initially mistook for a stray sheep. Upon closer inspection, they realized they were facing something far stranger. They described a being with a short, round head atop a dog-like body, featuring a distinctive hump on its back. When the men attempted to surround it, the Fjörulali demonstrated surprising agility, swiftly fleeing to the sea and vanishing beneath the waves before they could catch it. This incident highlights one of the Fjörulali's most baffling traits, its ability to move with unexpected speed, despite its seemingly awkward form. This capacity for quick escapes has contributed to its enduring mystery, allowing it to evade capture and close study. Our 6th Icelandic cryptid is the Lagarfljótsormurinn, also known as the Lagarfljótsormurinn or the Icelandic Loch Ness Monster. This mysterious creature inhabits the depths of Lagarfljót, a lake near the town of Egilsstaðir in eastern Iceland. It's one of the most well-known cryptids in Iceland, with a reputation that rivals its Scottish counterpart. Lagarfljótsormurinn, also known as the Lagarfljótsormurinn, comes out in Lagarfljót Lake, emerges in various forms, from island-like humps to massive arching bodies, with a serpent-like appearance and a reported length of up to 300 feet. The oldest recorded sighting dates back to 1345, noted in the Skálholtsannál. Witnesses described the worm as resembling large islands at times, while at others, it would arch out of the water, spanning hundreds of fathoms. Its full form remained elusive, with its head and tail never fully visible. In 1589, Bishop Oddr Einarsson documented a dramatic encounter. The worm reportedly lifted its back so high above the water that a ship under full sail could pass beneath it. When it crashed back into the lake, the impact caused severe damage to nearby farms, which were subsequently abandoned. Throughout the 17th century, sightings continued, with the Lagarfljótsormurinn appearing as humps or islets rising from the water. Locals viewed its appearances as bad omens, often preceding misfortune. A particularly eerie sighting occurred in the mid-18th century, recorded in the Vatnagedda. The worm raised 3 arches above the water during winter, reportedly blowing out blue smoke. In the 19th and 20th centuries, reports described the creature as humps, clumps, or even an overturned boat gliding against the current. One account mentioned a depth sounder detecting the creature beneath an overhanging bank, deep below the surface. Sightings have persisted into the 21st century, with some allegedly captured on video. In 2012, a farmer claimed to have filmed the Lagarfljótsormurinn swimming in the icy waters of the lake. The video, showing a long serpentine object moving through the water. Our 7th Icelandic cryptid is the Vatnagedda, a creature as deadly as it is mysterious. This aquatic horror lurks in the darkest, murkiest lakes of Iceland, avoiding light at all costs. Vatnagedda, also known as the Loch Pike, comes out in Iceland's darkest lakes. Attacks with highly corrosive poison, repels supernatural entities, and possesses mystical healing properties. The Vatnagedda's appearance is as unusual as its nature. Most commonly described as golden and hairy with a flounder-like body, some accounts also mention blue variants. Its most distinctive feature, however, is not its looks but its lethality. The creature's highly corrosive poison is its primary weapon. A mere touch from the Vatnagedda can melt both organic and inorganic matter. Its venom is so potent it can dissolve layers of protective clothing. One chilling tale recounts a Vatnagedda melting through 2 horse skins it was wrapped in, then burrowing into the ground. But the Vatnagedda's influence extends beyond the physical realm. Its poison is said to be powerful enough to drive away supernatural forces, repelling ghosts and spirits. Paradoxically, its fat is rumored to possess mystical healing properties, capable of curing wounds inflicted by ghosts or sorcery. Catching a Vatnagedda is an endeavor fraught with danger. Icelandic lore suggests that only a hook baited with gold stands a chance of luring this creature. Even then, handling it requires extraordinary precautions. Gloves made from human skin or multiple layers of skate skins are said to be necessary to withstand its corrosive touch. Yet, even these measures may not fully protect the hunter, with rashes and inflammation being common afflictions. Despite its dangers, or perhaps because of them, some Icelanders consider the Vatnagedda a delicacy, akin to the infamous fugu fish of Japan. This practice, if it indeed occurs, would be reserved for only the bravest or most reckless individuals. Our 8th Icelandic cryptid is the Huldufólk, also known as the Hidden People. These mysterious beings are believed to live in large boulders, hills, or mounds across Iceland's rugged landscape, and remain largely unseen unless they choose to reveal themselves. Described as having brown hair and wearing simple green clothing, the Huldufólk live parallel lives to humans, though they remain hidden in their enchanted dwellings, known as Lagarfljótsormurinn. These sacred patches of land, often marked by untouched natural features, are believed to house these hidden beings, and disturbing them can bring about misfortune, accidents, or even illness. Interestingly, the Huldufólk share a linguistic connection with the Huldra of Scandinavian folklore, as both names derive from the Old Norse word huld, meaning hidden. However, while they share this root, the two entities are quite different. The Huldra of Scandinavian lore is a seductive female spirit of the forest, often luring men with her beauty, but hiding a hollow back or a tail, which reveals her otherworldly nature. In contrast, the Huldufólk are more elusive and rarely interact with humans unless their homes are disturbed. Rather than seducing or tricking humans, the Huldufólk are protectors of nature, and their presence is often a reminder of the consequences of disrupting Iceland's natural environment. One notable incident involves a man riding his horse across a field who encountered an unusually green patch of grass, thought to be a hidden dwelling of the Huldufólk. His horse, which was typically bold and obedient, refused to step on the patch, and the man later realized he had narrowly avoided disturbing an Lagarfljótsormurinn, which could have brought bad luck. The Huldufólk's aversion to Christian symbols and modern technology, like electricity, is another striking feature, further separating them from human society. Despite being part of Iceland's ancient folklore, belief in these beings continues in modern times. Though similar in name to the Scandinavian Huldra, the Huldufólk of Iceland represent a more protective force, deeply connected to Iceland's untamed landscape and the belief that nature should be respected and preserved. Our ninth Icelandic cryptid is the Landvættir, or Landwights. These ancient guardian spirits are deeply embedded in Icelandic folklore, believed to protect the island from external threats. Their presence is so important that Icelandic law once prohibited ships with dragon-headed carvings from entering harbors, as these carvings might offend the Landvættir. Landvættir, also known as Landwights, come out across Iceland, appear as powerful natural spirits, each associated with a particular region, protecting the country's safety and prosperity. In Icelandic lore, the Landvættir appear as powerful natural spirits, each associated with a particular region. They are protectors of the land, ensuring the country's safety and prosperity, and are symbolized in the national coat of arms. These spirits are linked to the four corners of Iceland, each represented by a different figure: a dragon in the east, a griffin or eagle in the north, a bull in the west, and a giant in the south. One famous legend from the Heimskringla saga recounts an invasion attempt by the Norwegian king Harald Bluetooth. Harald sent a sorcerer transformed into a whale to scout the shores of Iceland for weaknesses. However, at every turn, the whale was thwarted by the Landvættir. When attempting to land on the eastern shore, a mighty dragon accompanied by snakes and other creatures rose to defend the land. In the north, a griffin with a terrifying wingspan appeared, surrounded by fierce birds. In the west, a bull with bronze horns and stone-like skin charged the whale. Finally, in the south, the whale encountered a towering mountain giant, wielding an iron staff and accompanied by an army of trolls and titans. Each time, the whale was forced to retreat, and Harald's invasion was ultimately foiled. One of the most well-documented events took place during the construction of Keflavik Airport in the 20th century. Workers frequently reported machinery failures and strange accidents around large boulders believed to be inhabited by these guardian spirits. The foreman, troubled by recurring dreams of a woman asking for time to move her family, delayed the project for 2 weeks. After the respectful pause, the disturbances ceased, reinforcing the belief that the Landvættir must not be disturbed. Our 10th Icelandic cryptid is the Skeljaskrímsli, or shell monster, a bizarre and fearsome creature known to roam Iceland's coastlines and shallow waters. With a body covered in an armor-like shell encrusted with barnacles, seaweed, and marine debris, this creature has a distinctly maritime appearance that blends seamlessly with its oceanic environment. Its eerie, rattling movement, accompanied by the sound of its shell-covered body scraping against rocks, serves as a warning to those nearby. Described as roughly the size of a large horse or bull calf, the Skeljaskrímsli's most prominent features are its thick, sloth-like claws and its long snout, which some compare to that of an aardvark. Its reddish, glowing eyes give it an unsettling presence, especially when it appears during stormy weather or at twilight, when sightings are most frequent. The Skeljaskrímsli has been linked to toxic characteristics that set it apart from other Icelandic cryptids. Both its blood and its breath are said to be highly poisonous, causing illness or worse to anyone who comes too close. Some folklore suggests that it is capable of using this venom as a defense mechanism, melting through objects or causing severe burns to anyone who touches it. This has given rise to the belief that only silver weapons, or in some cases willow branches, can effectively fend off or harm the creature. Locals believe its appearance is an omen, and it is often associated with impending storms or disasters. Some tales describe its attraction to sources of light, warning residents to keep their windows closed and avoid lighting fires in their homes during turbulent weather, for fear of drawing the creature closer. One of the most notable sightings of the Skeljaskrímsli occurred in 1787, A man named Brian Jonsson described seeing a strange, large creature on the shores of Iceland. As he walked along the coastline, he encountered the creature, which resembled a horse-sized animal covered in shells, with sloth-like claws and an elongated snout. The beast moved with a rattling sound, its shells scraping against the rocks. Brian was able to follow the tracks left by the creature's claws, which deeply imprinted the wet sand, until it eventually disappeared into the sea. Though Brian initially attempted to capture the creature by setting a trap, there is no record of the outcome, leaving its fate shrouded in mystery. A second significant sighting occurred in 1987 when two hunters in a remote part of Iceland were out searching for game near a lake. While hunting, they stumbled upon not one, but two Skeljaskrímsli resting on the shoreline after emerging from the water. The hunters observed the creatures for a while, noting their thick shells and glowing red eyes. Though armed, the hunters refrained from attacking, either out of fear or fascination with what they were witnessing. After some time, creatures returned to the lake and disappeared into the depths, leaving the hunters shaken but unharmed. As our journey through Iceland's cryptid-haunted landscapes comes to an end, remember, the whispers in the lava fields might be more than just the wind. In this land where myth and reality intertwine like frost on a window, the next encounter with the unknown could be yours. Keep your eyes peeled for elven dwellings as you explore, and think twice before tossing that stone. It might just be someone's home. When Christmas approaches, listen for the mischievous footsteps of the Yule Lads, and perhaps leave out a treat to stay on their good side. If you find yourself near a misty lake, watch for ripples that defy the breeze. The Lagarfljótsormurinn might be stirring. Iceland's ancient mysteries are alive and well, waiting for those brave enough to seek them out. So stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop exploring the shadows where legends lurk. This is DeadNet Studios bidding you go to nut. Good night. Sleep well if you can. And remember, in Iceland, not all that glimmers in the darkness is the northern lights. Some of it might just be watching you.
In the shadows of the digital